So let's start with how was the organization able to operate? That's a very big issue, how the organization was able to operate. Because multiple agency failure is something that can happen. And like I've told you, it's happened with Wirecard, it happened with Madoff in the US. Big organizations, SEC, American Securities Exchange, failed in ascertaining that Madoff was just a Ponzi scheme. So it is possible for an organization to beat this. And why does it happen? It happens when people let go of skepticism, when questioning becomes enemy action. So because of Madoff's reputation, because Wirecard was seen as a great German innovative company, nobody wanted to ask it a difficult question. So this is what happens when people come into public spaces. You have a vehicle, you close the number plate, and you drive into the presidential villa. Nobody at the gate says, hey, not here. Can you open this number plate? Because you need to run a verification whether this car is the same with the person with the car. So the question of how he was to operate is a systems failure in Nigeria, where institutions are no more allowing dissent within the organization. That's why he was able to operate. Because once you say, Chief of Staff said, President said, well, everybody knows that the Chief of Staff has no permanent secretary. The permanent secretary in the villa is the State House permanent secretary. He is the custodian of the State House. Now, but the secretary to government have 6, 7 permanent secretaries because the government made him the engine house of government. So if the organization was able to operate, it was able to operate because over the years, we have degraded our public institutions, that asking questions is now viewed as enemy action.
Operation included federal being housed in the federal secretariat.
So that brings us to the Secretary to Government's office that has ceded its own function.
If you is it the SGF office that allocates offices at the federal secretariat?
The federal secretariat. At least as much as I know, it's the Secretary to Government's office. So they run the federal secretariat. So if an agency...
As a new agency, it would have gotten to the facility controllers and managers.
Well, I've written to the Secretary to Government, who will have minuted it down to Permanent Secretary GSO. Permanent Secretary GSO will minute it down, General Services Office, to the facilities.
So a fake letter from the SGF office.
Yes.
Could he have got
a fake letter from the Chief of Staff's office? That's why I'm saying I'm interested in seeing
the letter. Because the letter is at the heart of this matter. Is the letter from Chief of Staff Biamela or from the SGF?
SGF. So I'm here to ask, if the SGF receives a letter appointing somebody DG from the Chief of Staff's office, what did he do? Did he say, oh, the President has appointed? No. If the President has appointed somebody, he will minute to the SGF. This man has been appointed. So this is what the ICPC investigation will unravel.
Yeah.
What was the reaction of the Office of the Secretary to Government to a letter informing it? Until I see that letter, I do not believe, I personally don't believe that a letter emanated from the Chief of Staff. Because the Chief of Staff knows that he has no such power. He knows. So if he issues such a letter, that means that our system is so degraded that a whole Secretary to Government of the Federation will then take a letter from the Chief of Staff, who is an appointee, a presidential appointee. He's not a member of council.
More or less like a private
staff of the president.
Of the president. That is meant to operate in the shadow of the president.
Yes. The Secretary to the Federal Government of Nigeria is in our constitution.
But make us understand. So let's assume, without conceding, that this man got a fake letter from the Chief of Staff. He could have used the same letter to penetrate the SGF. Is that right?
Yes.
Without any, just like you are saying that he just gave a gaping hole into the system, and everybody will say, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So I'll tell you this story. One of my friends used to come and visit me when I was a staff of the FCDA. At that time, General Seni was under the military, was the minister. So to cross the office some time of day, you needed to be a government worker. People, non-staff, were allowed after 2. But this guy comes in by 10 in the morning. And I said, how do you do it? You're always coming in here. He said, oh, that when he gets to the security man, he will say, tax force. He will open his ID, say, tax force. Then they will salute him, tax force, welcome. he will pass. Nobody stopped to say, task force on what? So I said to him, if they ask you, task force on what are you? He will say, oh, task force on environmental sanitation in my village. He will say, I never claimed I was, So this tells you about verification. If you want to enter any Western organization
where internal verification system bypassed.
Yes.
Because
no, it wasn't bypassed. It failed.
It failed.
If this is true.
He's gone to the EFCC, Mr. Chidoka.
Yes.
He has gone to the national. At least the pictures that we see.
No, by the time you get an office in the secretariat, that has conferred legitimacy on you. You can't be writing another agency and they'll be asking you for your letter of appointment. Because the moment the secretary to government has granted you an office, every other agency assumes that the whole process has been followed.
We understand
it's
that.
It's like when you see an account signed by the auditors, you already assume that an audit has happened.
We understand that he has a diplomatic passport.
So
when you were FRSC head, did you have a diplomatic passport?
No, I never asked for.
No, okay, but you could have asked.
Yes, I could have asked. Even as minister, I didn't bother asking for diplomatic passport.
And I thought that process is usually very rigorous for you to be able. It comes from the Minister of Interior, right?
The Minister of Interior. Then they say letter of appointment and all of that. So he has all that now.
Since his office is international foreign investment, so he will need
a council. So it's not a statutory agency.
So verification failed.
Verification failed.
Were public officials deceived or complicit?
Both.
And that investigation by the SCPC
will unravel complicity. Because the complicity is not that they wanted him to be chief. The complicity is that people are now afraid to challenge higher order. So even if some civil servants suspected some foul play, they refuse to speak.
Quickly, so, he got CBN, 3 CBN accounts.
Yes.
3 CBN accounts.
Yes.
Verification, deceit or complicity, those are at issue. Who authorized access to government facilities? The letter would have allowed it. Also, the system failed. Yes. Will investigation extend beyond one suspect?
No. This is an institutional investigation. This is the lessons we need to learn. This is how we can say to ourselves, do you know what this means? If this man came and said he is a counsel, let's assume that a Nigerian enemy sets up an institution. And we've seen it happen when Israel sold pagers through a company to Hezbollah. So let's assume that an enemy of Nigeria created a council, passed it through offices, faked all these letters, gave it to the SGF, and they accepted it. And he went to budget office and he passed. And this man gets proximity to the president by virtue of being member of council. So the security man in the villa, they has, this is my ID card, this is my passport. Oh, okay, so who are you? Oh, I'm the president in charge of DG PFIPC. Oh, okay, welcome. This man gets access to the president of Nigeria. This man can then sit inside and access sensitive government records. Because here we are thinking corruption in terms of money. We are thinking that this was done to extort money. What if this was a major nefarious article by a state agent, a coordinated attack, to bring somebody close within the proximity of the president, to bring documents about Nigeria's infrastructure or anything to the public awareness? This is the more serious issue, why we should have a full inquest, this may give us a clue how foreign agencies have operated in Nigeria.